Hello again and welcome back to some climbing news. Big stuff out of the climbing world, not including Yannick Floy's flash of an 8C/V15, as I did that yesterday, and as a lot of you know, I willed that into existence all on my own after a pretty long rant. There's really only one logical conclusion to reach from that. I am God. Pray to me with your climbing wishes in the comments, and I will probably not grant them, because I'm an asshole, and I think that's funny. But back to business. Today we've got the youngest person to ever climb an 8C/514B route, Shawn Raboutou, taking a massive whipper in his latest video that should be out by the time this one comes out. A few more 8Cs going down in Rocklands, a look into the tragedy that occurred at Memphis Rox on Sunday the 29th of June, and much more. So, as always, please consider giving a like, subscribing if you're liking what you're seeing or listening, or I mean, maybe I'm muted and you're just watching. That it feels creepy for some reason. But yeah, let's start the show. And starting us off, Ryan Sklenica, who has 4 9A/514 routes FA'd in Australia, according to good old 8A.nu, has just gotten the first ascent of Turbo Mouse, for which he has proposed the grade 9A+ or 515D in Nowra, Australia. Now apparently Ryan started trying this thing in early 2024 and made pretty quick progress, basically linking everything up to the final move relatively quickly. And yeah, man, things were looking great until he reached that final move, a move which he underestimated, a move which he claims he fell on more than 100 times, a fact to which I can only say, oh Nowra. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Like, come on, it's right there. The place is called Nowra. Was I supposed to not? Throw me a freaking bone here. One of the best puns you've probably ever heard aside. Those 100 falls meant the season was over for Ryan, and he had to go back this year, devoting around 10 sessions until finally, on a day when he didn't have any expectations at all, but where conditions were good, he found himself suddenly managing not only to do the final big dyno move that had eluded him so much, but actually red pointing the whole route too. So, congratulations to Ryan Sklenica for his send of Turbo Mouse. Go follow his Instagram. Links in the description. Rate my pun. Don't rate my pun. Don't rate my pun. Don't do it, please. And then, in news that will make you feel more inadequate than Daniel Radcliffe hanging out with that one guy named Jake.
For f***'s sake, Jake, you made me feel so inadequate!
Veronica Chic, or Chick, I'm not sure, who was 9 years old. 9 years old! Just sent something way harder than most of you will probably even get near. Yeah, that includes me. Mostly because it's a sport climb and I ain't touching those with a 10-foot pole. Or a stick clip thing. But yeah, so a 9-year-old just sent fisheye 8C/514B, and I have been sitting at this desk for about 2 hours staring blankly at the wall in front of me, wondering why even try? What's the point? Does it look like I'm happy for this literal child, or is the fact that I'm currently dying inside super obvious? At least when Ashima was doing Ashima things when she was, 10, I was like, not climbing yet. God, is this how that feels? Ugh. But okay, I gotta get serious and give you guys the facts here. Veronica Cheek sent 8B+/514A last year when she was 8, and apparently she wanted to go even bigger this year and try getting a Guinness World Record, so she got her family and her coaches to head to Oliana, Spain, where they looked for the perfect route for her. And yeah, they settled on Fisheye, a 50-meter long route bolted by Chris Sharma back in 2009. I can't find much more info on how long it took her to piece this thing together, but if you'd like to check out her uncut send footage, link is in the description below as always. And yeah, man, would love to know your thoughts on this one. And then let's move on to Nikolai Uznik, who is down in Rocklands and who just got another repeat of Fred Nicole's legendary 8C/V15 boulder problem, Monkey Wedding. And man, not all that much to say about this one. Nikolai, be strong, dude. But then again, I mean, it's Monkey Wedding. It's Monkey Wedding. It's legendary. Apparently 2 sessions total for him to get this done. One in which he couldn't figure out the climb at all, and a second in which some micro beta changes really helped him out. Basically, the guy just changed how he was heel hooking and holding his left hand, and bam, send. Easy. Yeah, man, Nikolai is apparently going to be staying in Rocklands until the 18th, and he's gonna go and check out, you guessed it, the finish line. So I'll be back probably next week to show you guys the same photo we've seen 1,000 times at this point, only with Nikolai instead of Nale, or Shawn, or Jimmy, or Jewel, or Dai, or Magos, or Zach, or Vadim, or yeah, you get the picture. But congratulations to Nikolai adding his name to the list of monkey wedding invitees. It's fun times. 28 repeats. It's a pretty big party at this point. And then, early this week, I talked about this kid, Nicholas Allan, getting the FA of Whiplash, a boulder just outside Cape Town, for which he proposed 8C. And now, dude just sent Spray of Light 8C/V15 in Rocklands. He tried it a bit last year, came back this year feeling a lot stronger, and got it done second session. And I mean, okay, barring the fact that he tried this thing a year ago, like we're still talking about an 18-year-old child sending V15/8C, and what pretty much amounts to being 2 sessions, right? Look, real talk, I know I'm all jokey or whatever, but this is the sort of thing that honestly makes me so happy to see. I hadn't even heard of this kid on Monday, and now within a week, the dude sent 2 insanely hard boulders in a week, made the news twice. It's sick. It gets me psyched. Good for him, man. Good for him. Also, Spray of Light is amazing. I'm linking Jimmy Webb's send here. Happens around minute 9, but honestly, just watch the whole thing if you haven't, or watch it again if you have. It's probably one of my favorite mellow videos ever, because it's Jimmy. You know, it's Jimmy. Then let's talk trad stuff real quick. Shawn Raboutou with another rare Instagram post. This time, I'm gonna let the clip do the talking.
That was really, oh, fucking A.
Yeah, so even the world's best climbers biff the easy top out sometimes. Except in this case, dude took a wild whipper. Kind of reminds me of that one time Giuliano Cameroni fell off the top of Squalo Bianco and Jimmy Webb did that classic Jimmy Webb face. Yeah, he did the same thing when Shawn fell off Big Z. You remember that?
Oh! My God!
Sick spot, J-Webb.
Probably did the same thing when he watched his footage. God, I love Jimmy. But yeah, point is, this is a new video. Should be up by the time you're watching this. Features Cedar Wright, who's always a good time. Go check out like probably everything that dude's made if you haven't heard of him. Just awesome guy overall. I mean, at least I think. I don't know him personally. But yeah, pretty much all I have to say about all of that. Watch the video. It's probably going to be great. I'm assuming it will be, because Cedar knows what he's doing. And then really switching gears here to the shooting that occurred at Memphis Rox on Sunday, the 29th of June. Now, if you're not familiar with Memphis Rox, it's a climbing gym notable for being in the Soulsville neighborhood of South Memphis, one of the toughest neighborhoods in the United States. More importantly, it's a non-profit gym that's famous for its community outreach. It features tons of volunteer programs, helps bring this sport to underprivileged youth. I mean, it even has a pay-what-you-can system for its memberships, meaning the gym doesn't turn anyone away because of a lack of funds or an inability to pay, but rather asks for volunteer work as a form of payment. It's honestly what every single climbing gym should try to be. There's a great Real Rock episode in which the gym is heavily featured. If you'd like to check it out, it's called Black Ice. I'm putting a link to it in the description below. But unfortunately, on Sunday the 29th, an argument that began in the gym's parking lot escalated into a shooting inside the gym and ended with the death of 2 people, one of whom was Jarmond Johnson, a beloved figure in the Memphis Rox climbing community. And I've been really struggling with how to tell this story, going from something as ultimately inconsequential as Shawn Raboutou taking a whipper to this is not simple. It's actually why I've taken so long to even bring up the shooting in the first place. But the more that I learn about Jarmond, the more Instagram posts and stories that I see from the people that knew him, but the kind of man he was and the impact he had on everyone around him, the more I realize that the very least I can do at this moment is to use what small a platform I have to highlight who he was. Because make no mistake, Jarmond Johnson died a hero. He died trying to de-escalate a situation that was ultimately out of his control, and did so by doing everything he could to make sure the people around him were safe. Now, as far as how things are moving forward, Jarmond's funeral is reportedly being held tomorrow, Saturday, July 12th, at the Metropolitan Baptist Church in Memphis. You can find more information on the Memphis Rox Instagram, which I'll be linking below. Memphis Rox, which has been closed since the 29th of June in order to allow their community volunteers and employees to Heal will be reopening its doors on Sunday the 13th with a special event that they're calling Climb for Mond, which will honor Jarmond Johnson. Now, as far as how you can help support both the Memphis Rox community as well as Jarmond's family, I'm going to be putting links in the description to the Memphis Rox website, as well as to a shop that was recently created by Sam Elias, where you can buy shirts, hoodies, caps, stickers, all of which have Jarmond's Humble Hustler tattoo on them, the proceeds of which will be going to Jarmond's girlfriend and child, who is due at the end of the year. But hey, that was some climbing news, kind of a tough one to end on, but nevertheless hugely important to at least talk about. Kind of switching gears again, I hope that everyone has a wonderful weekend. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Like I said, working to get back to being consistent with these videos, changing up the schedule of the regular show to Mondays and Thursdays instead of Tuesdays and Fridays. And so with that said, I will see you guys again on Monday. But in the meantime, of course, and as always, go climb some stuff.